On an elite island in Canada called Isle Auxiliary Payens, a place usually inhabited by wealthy people who love golf, green smoothies, and a healthy lifestyle. But who would have thought that this peaceful-looking place would turn into a snowy hell full of brain-hungry zombies? The story begins when the golf course management wants to keep the grass green during winter. How? By using an experimental fertilizer made from Antarctic penguin blood that supposedly resists freezing. Yeah, it already sounds weird. But since they want to keep playing golf in the snow, they spray that stuff all over the course. The problem is, the fertilizer leaks into the island's drinking water system. And from there, the infection starts spreading quietly. Now we meet the main character, Andre, who lives with his mother, a career woman who's insanely busy and rarely has time for her son. One morning, his mother makes a green smoothie using tap water. And that's the very same contaminated water from the penguin fertilizer. Meanwhile, on the other side of the island, a middle-aged man named Dan, a security guard with a daughter named Patricia, works for a famous golf company in the city, run by a business-crazed CEO whose greed caused the fertilizer leak. One of the residents, Bob, drinks the contaminated water. He starts feeling dizzy and suddenly acts strange, then brutally bites his wife's neck while she's in the bathtub. From there, the outbreak spreads everywhere. The golf company's workers are the first to get infected, turning dozens of people into zombies. Dan receives a report from an old woman in the neighborhood who hears strange noises, but when he arrives, the woman herself has already turned into a zombie and attacks him. Terrified for his daughter's safety, Dan rushes home. Meanwhile, Andre has no idea his mother has turned into a zombie. When she attacks him, Dan arrives just in time, ordering Andre to stay inside while he drags the zombified mother away. The government soon realizes there's a zombie outbreak and decides to seal off the island to prevent the infection from spreading. Andre, now trapped, can only protect baby Anna. When his zombified mother almost attacks Anna, Andre distracts her with green vegetables, but the mother accidentally kicks the TV, which falls and crushes her to death. Running out of food, Andre decides to leave the house and look for supplies. At a convenience store, zombies chase him, until Dan pulls him inside to save him. Andre searches for baby formula for Anna but is shocked when he sees a zombie behind the glass door. It's Patricia, Dan's daughter, who's now infected. Dan can't bring himself to kill her. He believes there's still a way to save her. They hear a government announcement on the radio and try calling the broadcaster for help. But instead of rescuing them, the people outside treat them like enemies, terrified the zombie virus might spread to the mainland, so no one comes to help the three survivors. Andre and Dan begin investigating the cause of the outbreak. They suspect the water supply since everyone turned into zombies around the same time. The next day, they attempt to escape, bringing Patricia with a face cage to prevent her from biting anyone. Meanwhile, two professional female assassins arrive at the biotech company, owned by Bob, where everything started. Bob wants his failed experiment destroyed. The two women open a suitcase containing white capsules meant to neutralize the fertilizer's effects on the golf course. But they have another plan, to erase all evidence so the government can't blame them. They murder Bob and start restoring the snow-free golf course to hide any trace of the disaster. Back at the water facility, Dan and Andre arrive. Patricia suddenly runs inside and jumps into the water tank. Apparently, zombies love water. Inside, another zombie lurks but doesn't attack her. They rush back to the car and drive to the golf course where many of the infected golfers have gathered. Andre places baby Anna in a small cage to keep her safe, while he and Dan search for the source of the infection. They find an infected dog that has mutated into a patch of living grass. Dan discovers the root cause, a green powder surrounding a bomb emitting toxic gas. Dazed but determined, Dan manages to disable the bomb. The assassins are confused when the explosion timer suddenly stops. They enter the area and find baby Anna. They decide to turn her into a zombie. When Dan and Andre arrive, they find the now infected Anna. The assassins try to kill Andre, but one of them gets bitten by zombie Anna. Dan attacks the other. One of the antidote capsules breaks open, releasing a gas that both Anna and the survivors inhale, miraculously curing them back into humans. Realizing they'll soon return into zombies, the two assassins shoot each other. Andre sends a video message showing that his sister was infected, which prompts the government to order the extermination of everyone on the island. No survivors. Dan and Andre, now human again, are ignored by soldiers who continue the purge. Later, volunteers arrive after seeing Andre's video and rescue him from the island. Before leaving, Andre throws Patricia's severed hand into the sea, only for a fish to eat it. Could this be the start of a new outbreak?